Hi, I'm Gracie Dozier, and I'm currently a junior at Texas Tech University, and I did my research study on what influences consumers' fashion choices and how online atmospherics affect buying behavior for Generation Z. So for the background and purpose, the reasoning behind this study was to find out what the biggest influences are for Generation Z when shopping online and how those online atmospherics buying behaviors. And so there actually are not many studies that are contributed to how Generation Z shops. Mainly it's older generations because there's more data that has been collected. And so for the sample of the study, it consisted of consumers who either shop online or in store and are between the ages of 18 and 28. It's specifically focused on Generation Z because the study is testing which age group shops online the most and what influences them while shopping online. To collect the data for the research, I've created an online survey using Qualtrics. This survey included questions about Generation Z and their buying behaviors and who influences their fashion and style, meaning like celebrities or social media influencers. I'm interested to see the results, and later on I will talk about the results and the data from the survey. So the methodology, the sample for this study was an online survey using the Facebook application, as I mentioned before. And you did have to be between the ages of 18 and 28. And it really was just basically about what influences them, Generation Z, when they're shopping online or in store. And so this study actually included some Likert scale questions, sorry I don't know how to say that, nomical scales questions, and a few yes or no questions. And this survey will include questions about Generation Z and their buying influencers and their fashion and style. So for the results, a lot of data was recorded when using Qualtrics, and this shows like the maximum, minimum, the mean, standard deviation, and variance for each question. So the first three questions were basic, and they asked about gender, ethnicity, and age, and it just really helped understand who I was trying to target. And so the average number for how many females will be taking the survey, and it also got the average age for the participants that took the survey. In this survey, 25% were male. After finding out the gender ratio, the survey was asked about ethnicity. There were 3 different ethnicities that took this survey on Facebook. 8.33% were Asian, 16.67% were Latin, and 75% were Caucasian or white, which surprised me that so many were different races. So after the demographic questions were answered, the next 2 questions did ask about how many hours do the consumers spend on a day online shopping, which helped with my study, and what website would the consumers prefer to do their online shopping. The total out of 100 for this question was 58.33% spent 30 minutes to an hour online shopping, 16.67% spent 2 to 4 hours, 8.33% spent 4 to 5 hours, and 16.67% spent none. So a little bit more about the results. almost all consumers chose Amazon as their preferred online shopping website, which totally makes sense because Amazon is the best. And 91.67% agreed that price does affect their online shopping and buying behaviors. So that was a good result, knowing that price has a big effect. So the same with shopping online and in store, they were both 50%. This shows, and then the layout of the store or the website, mainly the website, on how you can get around on a website was one major thing that people commented about. So when participants were asked about which social media app does the consumer spend the most time on, the only two mentioned were Facebook and Instagram. And lastly, they were asked about, on a scale from 1 to 10, how much each consumer enjoys online shopping. So the chart actually shows the percentages, and here are actually the maximum, median, the range, and the standard deviation. And the scale was on from 1 to 10. The minimum was 5, the maximum was 10, the median was an 8, and the standard deviation was 1.92, and the variance was 3.69. So after the conclusion, finding all the conclusions, it does say that Generation Z females do prefer shopping online and are definitely influenced by pricing. The results show that celebrities and social media influencers do not have a large effect on Generation Z consumers when they are shopping online. When it comes to name brand stores, it was 50%, which each participant preferred name brand or off brand. When it comes to social media apps, Facebook and Instagram were the only two chosen. So those two are what people are mainly shopping online with right now. So for millennials, they were chosen the most in the survey who shop online the most. And the results show that the up-and-coming generations are more likely to skip the brick-and-mortar stores and go straight to online retail. And older generations are not as influenced or have persuasion to shop online, and they would rather be in store and get the in-store experience. So yeah, those are all my results, and that was